Good evening. Evening for me. I don't know when I'll post this. I just finished teaching a class and I wanted to cover the difference between single action and double action. So single action refers to the capability of the trigger. So in this gun, which is a cowboy gun, an unloaded, old-fashioned, the trigger does one action, which is, see when I'm pulling it, nothing's happening. The trigger does one thing. It will drop the hammer, and that's it. So that's why in those old videos, they're because they have to manually pull that hammer back, and then they drop it with the trigger. That's a single action. A double action, the trigger does two actions. See how it's wiggling? Because the trigger will pull the hammer back and it will drop the hammer. Da, da, da. So pulling it back, then releasing. Double action, 1, 2 actions. Now in a semi-automatic, there's an indicator here which is kind of like the hammer being pulled back. So the hammer is not pulled back and nothing is happening. But when I rack the slide, the firing pin is in position, and when I pull the trigger, you will hear that click. So the trigger does one action. It will drop the firing pin. It will not put it in position. Kind of like the cowboy gun. Although in a semi-automatic, instead of you having to rack the slide, pull the trigger, rack the slide, pull the trigger, you only have to rack the slide the first time, and then every time you pull the trigger, the gun will do that action for you. So I don't have to every time. Now, a double action semi-auto, look at this. See how it's wiggling? Because this trigger will do two actions. It will pull the hammer back and drop it on the firing pin. So that is a double action semi-auto. Actually, this is a double single action. A double action only is where you have to have that long trigger pull every time. A double single action is it does both. So the first shot with this semi-automatic guys, it's late. With this semi-automatic pistol is a double action. And from there on, every time it will rack, then it'll be a single action from there on. I'll show you, it's unloaded. I didn't do that with this gun, sorry. So this one does the first, because the safety, you drop it, safety's on, it won't work. And then that first pull is the long trigger pull of the double action, and then from there on, single, 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 single. So that's a double single action. Woo! That's a doozy. Comment below, which do you prefer? Why do you think you would want one or the other? Have a great day.